Here's your wrestling news for August 10th, 2022. And we're kicking off with Vince McMahon, who retired last month due to the allegation of misconduct with female employees. The Wall Street Journal were the first to report that McMahon had allegedly arranged a $3 million payout to one woman in a non-disclosure agreement, forcing WWE's board of directors to launch an investigation into him. That investigation reportedly uncovered other non-disclosure agreements with former WWE employees who claimed misconduct by McMahon and then head of talent relations John Laurinaitis, with a total $14.6 million either paid or arranged to be paid by McMahon between 2006 and 2002. The Wall Street Journal also reported that McMahon allegedly paid $7.5 million to a former female talent who it's reported he coerced into sex, and when she later refused, she was demoted and then fired. While the payments were made by McMahon's personal funds, WWE has claimed that the payments were to WWE's benefits and therefore should be recorded as such. It's now been over 2 weeks since McMahon's retirement, but the investigation into him carries on, and there's now been an update on improper spending. WWE's latest SEC filing on Tuesday revealed an additional $5 million in payments McMahon made to two more individuals, which brings the total number of recorded expenses to $19.6 million. The company stated that the payments are unrelated to the allegations that initially led to the special committee's investigation, and WWE is expected to revise its financial statements from 2019 onwards to account for McMahon's improper spending. SEC and federal prosecutors are looking into the payments made by McMahon, with at least 8 law firms also investigating whether WWE engaged in unlawful business practices at the expense of investors. WWE will also be looking into their human resources program and hoping to find out if McMahon did what is alleged, how he was able to do it for so long. McMahon retired on July 22nd, but he's not out of the woods yet, and with the alleged misconduct and improper spending scandals showing no signs of easing up, things may get much worse for the former chairman before they get better. Earlier this week, we reported on Tony Khan, who it's been claimed is difficult to work with right now. There have been reports of Khan being less than professional in recent months, with one high-ranking member of the Backstage team quitting over it before Khan chased them down and begged them to stay. This is certainly not a good look for the AEW president, and we now know more about what's really going on backstage. According to a source who spoke to Ringside News, the atmosphere backstage has been chaos and things have been worse than normal as of late. Khan has taken actions to try and quell his outbursts, promoting a few in the company to help with his workload. Hopefully that will help, as despite the public image of a fun-loving, if slightly eccentric company president, Khan isn't exactly making others in AEW feel welcome at this time. AEW isn't Tony Khan's only promotion, as it was in March that he announced the purchase of Ring of Honor, months after the company announced a hiatus and cut a lot of their roster. ROH has had 2 events under Khan's control, Supercard of Honor 15 and Death Before Dishonor, but there's still no TV deal just yet. Now we may have a reason why, as according to recently uncovered trademark documents, Khan doesn't exactly fully own Ring of Honor. In fact, the only copyright that has been transferred so far is for ROH's video library, and the copyright holder for ROH Wrestling Entertainment LLC itself is linked to Sinclair Broadcasting. Tony Khan is being touted as the owner of ROH, but that's apparently only in name, as a shell company he created called ROH Acquisitions LLC is working on taking control of more of the wrestling promotion. With Khan not fully controlling ROH, this may explain why the company has had a slow reboot so far, as while we're sure he'd love to do a ton with the promotion, like he's done with AEW thus far, he still has people he has to answer to. We've got some news from the world of baseball now, as the San Diego Padres were not fighting well in their recent game with the San Francisco Giants, but their fans certainly were. During what would eventually be a 1-0 loss to the Giants, 4 people got into a brawl in right field, with one fan dragging the Padres supporter down the stairs. A moment later, 2 guys jumped into the situation and began throwing punches in a display that seemed more suited for pro wrestling than pro baseball. The men traded blows for a few seconds before the security guards raced into the action to break it up. The San Diego Police Department spokesperson said that security handled and 2 subjects were ejected, and added that they were not informed about the fight until it was concluded. This certainly made for some entertainment during what was a pretty boring game of baseball, and we'll make sure to grab some popcorn and hot dogs the next time a fight like this breaks out. Back to WWE, as John Laurinaitis has been fired by the company due to his alleged involvement in the Vince McMahon scandals. Laurinaitis' departure comes 21 years after he signed with WWE following the demise of WCW, and we've now learned more about his removal from the company. After PW Insider reported that Laurinaitis was fired a week or so ago, Fightful Select confirmed that report and added that he was still around in the company's emails. The report notes that Laurinaitis was still looped into company emails even after being placed on administrative leave, but was briefly removed during the July 22nd SmackDown, the day of McMahon's retirement. Laurinaitis was then re-added to the email list and was said to be receiving sensitive information related to creative and personal matters, but was pulled for good when Triple H was named Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. Laurinaitis' name was also added to an internal termination list, which supposedly also included McMahon's name, and many have expressed their delight that Laurinaitis is gone, with one high-profile superstar branding him a snake. Johnny Ace is gone and seemingly won't be missed by anyone in WWE, and after over 20 years in WWE, he'll now have to find another way to make ends meet. Back to the ring, as last week, Solo Sikoa went to war with Von Wagner in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which Sikoa won with a top rope frog splash through the announcer's table. Unfortunately for Sikoa, that match had a toll, as on last night's NXT 2.0, he was seen being attended to by a doctor who confirmed that the young superstar is out with a torn PCL sprain. This could be a completely legitimate injury, but it could also be WWE's way of writing him off TV creatively, as the doctor said he'll be out of action for 4 to 6 weeks. Solo Sikoa recently revealed scrapped plans for him on the main roster, where he'd have been paired with his brothers, undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions the Usos, and whatever WWE does have planned for him, we'll have to wait 4 to 6 weeks to find out. Before WWE 2K23 came out, the video game was being called a make-or-break deal, as it came over 2 years after the disastrous 2K20. At the time, it was said that if 2K22 was a flop, then WWE would likely end the relationship with 2K and instead start fresh with the folks at EA Sports. That didn't happen, as 2K22 proved to be a hit, and now WWE 2K23 has been confirmed by 2K Sports' parent company, Take-Two Interactive. During their 2022 Q1 fiscal report, it was revealed that WWE 2K22 was one of the largest contributors to the company's successful quarter, and while the new game won't be out until next year, the future of WWE's 2K series is looking very bright. And we're ending with Mark Henry, who shocked everyone by joining AEW last year, but is yet to wrestle for the company. In fact, Henry hasn't competed in any match for years now, and during Busted Open Radio with Bully Ray, explained why. Bully, to be honest, to be completely transparent, I got nerve damage, which is why I don't wrestle, in my back, in my sacroiliac joint. It'll just go out and I'll be on the ground, and there have been times where I do too much at AEW and I have to take a wheelchair through the airport, and it sucks because I'm prideful and I hate it when I can't walk through the airport. Feels like my leg is on fire. I'm not saying for a pity party for me, I'm saying that Darren Drozdov is in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, paralyzed from the chest down. I know countless other guys that are on canes and in wheelchairs too, he said, keeping optimism that it's something that won't worsen. My doctor told me, hey man, you know you can surgically get that fixed. And he said, don't do it until you can't walk no more. He's like, let that be your last alternative. So I feel it, but I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? Henry has said in the past that he hopes to wrestle in AEW, but that doesn't look to be happening anytime soon, as years in the ring have taken their toll on the world's strongest man. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.